nigga tripping on them hoes. Welcome to another Burn Live show, y'all. Welcome. Burn Live, marijuana keeping you connected, hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage smoking off of social media. I be killing myself, meaning taking dabs, for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, you and me and everybody sit here, starting a cannabisation. I appreciate everybody stopping through, coming through. I appreciate it. Let me turn that down just a little bit. Get your blunts, get your dabs, get your blunts, get your weed, get anything that you need to smoke and come join your boy. I am early. I went live a little early because I just wanted to. I just want to come and sit here and chill. Good evening, everybody that's up in here. I do see y'all comments on Facebook. We all live on Facebook and YouTube. Please share this out to your favorite podcast, your favorite group. Let them know that we are live. Let them know that you are part of a group that smoke weed, that's here to learn about Democrats and Republicans and stupid things that go on, not just all politics, but just news and things of learning of what's good and bad that's going on in the world. I feel like I take the time out. I wanted to take the time out to make a podcast that was dedicated to the little bit more important marijuana things that go on in life. I know we all smoke weed. We all want it legalized. I still got my legalized poster up in here. I appreciate that we're all legal. I love it. But there are yet still things that are going on that you and I shall sit back and we shall discuss, and we shall sit down and wonder if this is okay or not. If you don't think it's okay, then you know what I'm saying, what can we do as a group to get things done? I think this is one major thing that I feel as a podcast. This is somewhat of my job, somewhat of what I feel that we should be able to do. I think we should always come together. We always want to come together and talk about our everyday lives. I hear it all the time. Oh, I'm doing this every day. You know what I'm saying? I go to work. I play. I work. I come home. I watch TV. You hear this every day. Or you have people that's trying to get into these award shows, weed award shows. I have nothing wrong with none of this stuff that's going on. But there are a little bit more things that I feel that needs to be tad bit appreciated and that are going on. I watch a lot of podcast shows and listen to them. They got exercise and weed shows. They got yoga weed shows. They got everything marijuana that be going on except for things that has to do with politics. So this is where I came in. I felt like trying to get into my own lane, my own space, my own world. It'd been no better way to do it but to come into this politician world. It's not the best way to come in. I have lost a lot of friends. I have lost a lot of viewers. A lot of people don't want to smoke weed and learn things, which is understandable. It's explainable. I understand. But things need to, I feel, be discussed, looked at, not ignored. And when I do, somebody please show me or bring me a podcast. But when you do see these podcasts, there's nobody bringing up receipts or video or getting in high definition of what they're talking about. A lot of people stare away from things that are controversial. And I feel that if you're going to do that, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm not the one that's just going to stay away from the controversial. I want to talk about it. I think it needs to be discussed. I think it needs to be brought up, you know what I'm saying, so we can get a better understanding. What are we looking at? What are we not looking at? If this is what we truly want.
Purchase your tracks today.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of people like, hey, you know, they really don't like listening to me. I had a lot of people listen to me. We were just talking about everyday lives, everything things that was going on, and we were just chilling. Oh man, I had an audience. I know there's people that are not around me like it used to be, where I used to have a whole group of fans, whole group of people. They used to be around, and I know they're not here now. And they're phantoms, and people that used to hang out with them that came over to the show, they have left too. Understandable. I feel like, truthfully, and you can always watch my shows of what all I've been trying to be, is I haven't changed. I'm still that same person that wanted to bring you things that were very important that was going on around us. I just, like last year, the year before last, I wasn't capable, I wasn't able to do these things. And yes, it frustrated me that I wasn't able to bring some of these stories to you. I really wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of different stories. I try to stick over to the stories that's based over here in America and what's going on, like the White House, for instance. You know, you may not have heard it, you may have heard it. Some of y'all know, some of y'all have heard. They found drugs at the White House. You ask the press secretary what's going on about the White House, and she's not explaining. She's not talking about it. She doesn't want to discuss. She wants to stir us off into a whole nother world. You also got people who sees the Democrat and the Republican Party as enemies. Now, we're both in the United States of America, and we both should have a common goal. It's just we want some things done. We want less government involvement in laws and rules that goes on. We want to conserve the money. We want less power in banks and stuff like that. We really don't have too much problem with shootings and guns, because these are just things. Look, criminals gonna break the law. They're not gonna worry about what new law is intact unless it's longer sentences of them getting locked up. One thing that I feel like in America is we have softened up on crime, because we felt like too many people have been injustice and stuff like that. Yet again, this year has started off with some of the most mass shootings of all time. It's just been happening all over America, north, south, east, and west. Really putting America into a frantic. People really don't know what to do and don't know how to take things, which is highly understandable. We not knowing what to do and not knowing how to take something, how to accept something. I feel sometimes that we are not necessarily taking things for granted, but necessarily not taking the time out to see the full picture of what's going on. I feel like that's more of what's be going on. Now, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, hey, it's just my opinion. But I do feel like this is what we do be looking at, bros. We be looking for that niceness, that freshness, that entertainment time, and then we don't get it. Everybody seem like they're looking for fights and stuff. You're looking for that drama. I said yesterday, a lot of people are looking for that next scare. And I still stand on that. A lot of people, I really believe, is really looking for that next scare, that next takeover, that next hypeness, that next boogeyman. Yeah, I like that. A lot of people are like, not a lot of people, but definitely here in America, I feel like Americans are definitely looking for the next boogeyman. Other than Hollywood, you know, we got the strikes going on. Writer strikes, actor strikes. What it seemed like devil worshiping all on the stages. Everywhere we go, we just acting a fool. We just celebrating. We just over exaggerating what we see. It's just like we all doing things for clicks, likes. I mean, we even putting it out there. We doing things for clicks and likes, and it's still like it don't matter. We still like, yeah, you're right. So what? What is it gonna take for us to see the light? Huh? Is we ever gonna see the light? Is we ever gonna see what's really going on? Is we gonna take the time out? Is we gonna construct ourselves into trying to be good people? Just ask. I'm just wondering. I know there's one person on Instagram that goes live, and it's always some good drama, gossip going down. Every time you go on her podcast, you sit there and listen. It's like it's all we want is some type of conflict, y'all. We need the conflict. I don't know why we need the conflict, but we need the conflict. We need the non-acceptance of that could have been me, the what ifs, the things that we're not reaching out here for, the things that we're not going for, the things we're not trying to do. We be trying to shortcut things. Oh yeah, you may not want to believe me, you may not want to go there with me, but you know we be trying to shortcut things in life. It's just something that we do. It's sad that we do it. It's sad, but we do. We do. We always want things to be shortcutted in life. We just feel like this is it. Even me, there has been so many times where I just felt like, oh my God, this is the end. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do if I have seen. If I really recognize the end. Really recognizing the end. It's over. It's done. You need to stop. I don't know. That idea, that thought right there, it's heartbreaking. Nobody wants to think about the end. Nobody wants to see that it's over. Nobody wants to say, okay, I'm calling it quits. That's the part right there where I don't want to end up. Me, myself, and I, personally. I don't want to be that person like, oh man, I tried so much, I tried so hard. I mean, I was popping, I was popular, I was doing good. I understand times did get hard for me. But just to call it quits, just to say that it's over, it's done, I have nothing left to give. It's always something I feel like I can give. It's always some type of positivity or a message or something out here, especially with the internet, y'all. It's so much happening on the internet. It's just, what do we want to do? What type of stories do we want to invest in? What direction do we want to go? If we're going to be part of the matrix, if we're going to go for the hoopla, if we're going to sit here and look outside the matrix, see what's really going on, see if this and that is truly healthy for us. I hope I'm not speaking in riddles. I hope I'm trying to speak in a term to where you can understand, like, yo, okay, I just seen this weird video. I want to share it because it looks so weird and creepy. I just wanted to see what this was about. This looks so weird and creepy.
Liquid venom suit. Just touch the black liquid and it jumps onto your body just like venom. This is my real liquid venom suit.
That is so weird. I had to see what that was, y'all. I was very, very curious. It really had me wondering what that was. I had to see. You know, it has come a time where, oh hell nah, I'm definitely, whatever this is, we definitely gotta see.
Yeah, I got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
All right, so this video I'm about to show you is
What was it, Josh Christopher and Jalen Green?
yeah, they play in the NBA.
Yeah, they play for Houston Rockets, man. They're on the same team. That's
I think so. I'm
how
not,
ironic.
not big in the NBA. I kind of gave it up a couple years back.
Yeah, they
But this video going around, and it is
Jalen Green, Josh Christopher.
yeah, it's videos going around. It's brought out the homophobia in people. Oh man, I'm just gonna show you the video, man. Give me some B-roll going. Give me some B-roll action. That's film now.
Yeah, I wonder how they got on the same team though.
This is years before the NBA, I guess, when they're younger.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a dare or something.
I think they're just joking around.
I don't. Yeah, I think they too. But man, he was like, I don't know, man. He looked like he was motivated when he did that.
You look at it again.
Like he was dropping pipe in.
Look at it again.
How big his feet is.
So they laughing.
I mean, they joking. They just.
This part smoking weed, they're acting
They're
crazy.
probably high as hell.
The kid on the bed, I don't know who that was. He laughing.
Yeah.
He's dying.
The dude's just joking around, man. That dude, they ain't homos. The dudes are just joking, man.
Even if they are gay, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. He's still basketball players just because he.
Make you know what? I bet you there's a lot of gay guys in the NBA.
Oh hell yeah! How many dudes in the NBA? How many on a team?
It's like like 12, 13, 14 players.
I think it's more than that, ain't it?
15.
Something like that.
I don't keep track anymore.
How many teams in the NBA?
32.
There's at least 100 niggas in that league. It's bound to be one of them gay. You know?
Our producer's looking it up. 32 teams? 32 teams.
Told you.
Keep the math simple. 10 players a team. That's 326.
Man, it's more than 10 players on a team.
I'm just keeping the math simple. So it's probably about 400 players.
Yeah. 30 players on a team? 30 teams. And that's how many people on the team?
Just say 12.
I mean, this is nothing
said
new.
30.
I know this dude's getting packed.
Yeah, it's probably some of y'all the biggest stars in the league after the game. You think these dudes are brolic and out there got all these hot chicks? No, they going back to that $1 million mansions and sucking each other,
Come on.
doing circle jerks. Y'all never know. Dudes busting all kinds of nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
There was gay people when I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I mean, they everywhere.
It was two gay guys.
They everywhere.
You just don't know it.
Just don't know it. They just lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, looking at you.
Ready to pounce.
It's
waiting
the
to see a
eyesight for
sign.
me.
Oh, you like me, huh? Yeah, it's time to get
But yeah,
It's
some
the
people say they
eyesight
should
for
be,
me.
They should be. They should be cut. I was like, man, come on, man. You gonna cut them closely queers?
You expose. I told you this
This
exposed.
is homophobia, man.
It's people. It's actually people that's people out there that actually despise gay people. I think that the sexual acts is despicable. I mean, just
What, getting sucked off by a dude?
I mean, just all that ass.
Hey, come on, man. You ain't gotta.
It's
People
crazy.
do that.
You got all these beautiful women around here,
Yeah.
but you rather go.
Yeah. That's I understand where you come from.
But hey, I wasn't wired that way. I wasn't raised that way. So thank God. I'm out there doing despicable stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But
You think it's just the butthole, they in the butt?
It's amazing what be on the internet. It just, I don't know, man. Yeah. It's no holding back what be on the internet, what you would see, what you would run across. Like this in sports. Like, we just gonna bounce around.
I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of the, I'm sorry. I'm tired of the moments of silence.
I know the feeling. And so should everybody else right now. Special edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show coming your way right now.
Ah, shit, we got the special edition, y'all.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Yes, I am still on vacation, but obviously I felt compelled to come off vacation in light of what transpired this week in Buffalo, Maryland.
All of the mass shooting. I'm telling you, y'all. This is going to be my second time saying this. It's going to be hurtful. It's going to hurt feelings. It's going to be controversial. People not going to like what I'm finna say. But all these mass shootings in black area, if it hasn't happened in your area, it's going to happen. I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to provoke violence on nobody. I don't want violence on nobody. But you got to see that this violence is coming. Election is coming. So you need things to go on so you can promote. Oh, look at this happening. Look at that's happening. Look at this happening. All these propagandas are happening. Why? Election, war. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I got another story. I'm gonna play the full thing. We're not gonna play the full thing of Stephen A. Smith, but we're gonna play some of this. I do believe CNN blaming a mass shooting on the war. Shooting going on here in America is cause for a war that's going on in another country. Okay. But I'm gonna let Stephen A. Smith bring some things up, enlighten you what's going on, layoffs, shootings. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, in Baltimore, Maryland. I apologize. Before I do anything else, obligations take precedent first and foremost. I'm here in our studio thanks to our official studio sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is the official sports betting company of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Normally, on a day like today, I would be talking about sports, obviously. I'll be back in studio talking about sports on ESPN and ESPN2 as of this Wednesday, July 5th. I'm coming off vacation. I'll be on the air. I'll be on the air ESPN2 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then back our original channel, ESPN, for First Take in the immediate aftermath of the shootings that took place, the mass shooting that occurred in Uvalde, Texas. The reality is that it's apropos. It's apropos to bring that up now because the level of rage, disgust, exhaustion, and exasperation that he obviously felt last year should be felt by all of us today, especially Black America. Now, I'm not going to sit up there and talk to you about everything that's going on in this country because we understand that Black people in this country aren't the only one with issues. There are shootings with white people taking place. There are shootings in the Latino community that are taking place. We understand all of that. Black folks are not the only ones dying. And we certainly have sensitivity to all human life, at least on this show. I can tell you that much. But I'm coming to you today as a Black man because I alluded to this months ago, and I'm not going to back up from it now. It's an utter disgrace what's happening throughout the streets of America. And for those of you who don't know what happened as of this weekend, let me, articulate what has transpired. Sunday, 12:30 a.m., gunfire erupted at an annual neighborhood block party. A block party. Now, there are those of you who will sit up there and say, well, you know what, it wasn't a permit. They were having a block party without a permit. Shut the hell up. That's not the point. The point is that gunfire broke out during a block party. What was supposed to be a celebration ended up in 2 people dying because of gun violence and 28 people injured. 28. And by the way, I believe it was the 4th shooting this weekend. There was one that occurred in Wichita, Kansas, where 9 people were shot. There was one that occurred in Memphis, Tennessee, where 4 people were shot. And there was one that occurred in the Bronx, New York, where I was born, before being raised in Hollis, Queens, New York City, born in the Bronx, where 4 other people were shot. It's just one of many incidences that have taken place this year. There is no doubt about that. But we're going to talk about Baltimore, Maryland, just for a second here. We'll hear in a second from Mayor Brandon Scott, along with Governor Westmore, 2 African Americans that are overseeing the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland. But before I even get into that, 28 individuals wounded. 15 of them were minors under the age of 18 years of age. 15. 3 victims were 15 years old. 1 victim was 14 years old. 2 were only 13 years of age. This is what's going on in the streets of America. And like I said before, there's a lot of stuff going on throughout this country. And the most heinous thing that I could possibly imagine, I think about Uvalde, Texas. I think about Sandy Hook, where little children were executed. Okay? And nothing in life appears more egregious than that. But death is death. Violence is violence. And when the hell are we going to do something? Just like Steve Kerr said, when the hell are we going to do something? Hell with the vacation. How the hell can you smile and sit back and enjoy yourself with bullshit like this happening? This is unbelievable. It doesn't seem to end. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It's incredibly alarming to me. When we think about, I just made sure, because I want to make sure. And just for those of you who will question, where's he getting this information from? How about prisonpolicy.org? How about gunviolencearchive.org? along with various other websites. I ain't making this stuff up. Now you might ask, Stephen A., excuse me, we understand you're a black man. We get the level of sensitivity that you may have, but still in all, death is death. And I understand that. I understand that. But as a black man, I'm going to stop there first. And here is the reason why. The Latino population, the Hispanic population, doesn't appear to be an endangered species. White folks in the United States of America, despite the fact that their populace has diminished to below 60%, to 58.9% to be exact, they don't appear to be an endangered species. Black folks are the ones making up 13.6% of the population in the United States of America. By the way, when I talk about the populace, did you know that in the United States of America right now, 38% of the 1.9 million people incarcerated in this country, according to prisonpolicy.org, 38% are white of the 1.9 million. That comes up to 722,000 for those of you who don't have a calculator in front of you. You know what the black prison populace is? 38%. Identical to the white community. The difference is that the 722,000 for the black community is subtracted from the 13.6% of the population in America. Whereas the 722,000 from the white community is of their 58.9% populace. Who's in more trouble? It would happen to be us.
Like them numbers, appreciate them numbers, not numbers that we want to be proud of, but most of them numbers are brought upon them ourselves. Most of them numbers, we did it to ourselves. Most of them numbers are generated because of what we do to our community. Stephen A. Smith is still advocating for gun laws to be changed. And yet again, there's gun laws that has been changed. And it's not going to change nothing. We still think, we still got this mindset that we can change because of laws. Criminals, bad guys, mental ill persons don't care about the law. People that want to sell drugs in a neighborhood, which is called the hood, don't care about the laws. I'm just discussing with a friend. Let's change the subject a little bit, because I know y'all be like, okay, this is marijuana. A lot of 28 states are medical, 13 states are recreational. You still can go to jail in these medical and recreational states for smoking weed in public. It's still a federal crime. You still gonna have people out there that know this just as well as I know and don't care. So they make it harder for people that do care about the laws and rules and want to abide by them. We want to smoke weed. We want to chill. Like the blunt. I'm smoking. I get a phone call that it's time to go to the north side because I'm on the east side. Or I got to go to the south side. My blunt lit. I want to smoke. can smoke cigarettes in the car. Yes, you can. You can't drink and drive. No, you can't. But you can have drinks. Wait a minute and drive. You can smoke weed. Wait a minute and drive. But I want to go right now. That means, shall I wait? Shall I wait to what? There's not even a total law of how long you're supposed to wait before you get done smoking weed before you're allowed to get in the car and go on about your business. So shall I wait? People that are going to break the law, go break the law. People that want to go out and frustrated and mad at the world because of something that happened in their life are going to do what they want to do. They're going to break the law. They're going to be disruptive. They're going to be corrupt. They're going to want to, like the girl that grabbed the mic at the graduations. Y'all know about it. Everybody's all over social media. That girl broke the internet. I did not know, and come to find out, that girl was a what's that show? What's that shit? Fans Only. Took down our page. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying. We sit up here, we people that watch my show, and it's a lot of us that go out there and pay taxes and try to do the right thing. We try to do the right thing. That's all we want, is to do the right thing. And then you got stories like this, and we're like, wake up! Change the law! Okay.
When are we going to do something? As Steve Kerr would say, when the hell are we going to do something? I got a whole bunch of numbers here. And I made sure to look it up because I didn't want people sitting up there like, hey, Stephen A., I mean, what does this have to do with anything? I want you to pay attention. I want you to understand this. I'm looking at some of the events, areas where shooting recently occurred. Baltimore, Maryland, block party. Hollywood, Florida. Allen, Texas, May 6th. Atlanta, Georgia, May 3rd. Dadeville, Alabama, April 15th, where 4 people were killed and 32 were wounded. It's the East Coast, it's the West Coast, it's the South. It's states with strict and stiff gun laws, and it's states with damn near no gun laws, as far as I'm concerned. We can bring up the proliferation of guns in this country, or lack thereof. We can bring it all up. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to black folks, it don't matter, especially with us, because we in a world of trouble. What are we gonna do about it? As Steve Kerr would say, when are we gonna do something? When are we?
Notice he said we don't care.
Don't do something. 28 people wounded for a block party. Gunfire breaks out. 2 gunmen on the loose. They don't know who they are. They're bloviating about we ain't gonna rest until we find them, but we can't find any witnesses that know who the hell did all the shooting. And by the way, in the state of Maryland, I'd like to know what kind of argument can be made when they grade an A- on the Giffords gun law scorecard. I mean, states like California and New Jersey have a grading of A, so they have even stricter gun laws, but Maryland is no slouch in all of this. Maryland has some of the strictest gun laws, according to scoring an A- on the Giffords gun law scorecard. Gun purchases require a 7-day waiting period, and all handguns must be registered with the state police. Maryland also has a ban on assault weapons and large capacity ammunition magazines, as well as a requirement that all purchasers of handguns must complete safety training. In addition, individuals must be 21 years or older to purchase or possess firearms, and background checks are required for any transfer of ownership.
What else do we need to say, homies? Ladies, gentlemen, you want your streets safe. Streets are safe. But crime is going to happen. Crime is going to happen no matter what we look at it, how we're going to look at it. Okay? You can't avoid crime. We would like to live in some of these places like Dubai where crime is scarce. If you want it like that, and I hope Stephen A. Smith says something like this. If you want it like that, have stricter laws of punishment. The minimum somebody can do time in jail is 5 years. That'll straighten a person out. You mean you trying to tell me if I got a jaywalking ticket, I could spend up to 5 years in jail? Yes. I bet you won't nobody jaywalk. You see how a little bitty crime with a big punishment would stop something. So, everybody caught with a gun. I'm just alluding to the problem. Y'all just thought I almost fell, huh? I'm just alluding to this or making up an idea. This is an idea. Anyone caught with a gun get 20 years. Period. Every bullet that you catch is 5 years on. Stop playing. Those are ridiculous allegations. But that goes for everybody. Rich or poor. It doesn't matter who you are. You get caught with a gun illegally. That including the little kid that was self-defensing his mother. If he did not have the right to have that gun, then he could have been charged up to 15 years. 20 years, I'm sorry. A crime like that, a punishment like that, of that caliber, when people think about that long spread of a time period, because we understand that most people's lifespan of what they say is our lifespan is 80 years. So you spending 20 of that in jail just for the smallest. You know what I'm saying? When you got ridiculous crimes like that, when you got ridiculous time for crime that you do in America, you will have less crime in America. If you want things like that. Now, if you don't want things like that, if I'm talking ridiculous, if I'm going too far, understandable. I'm just saying, everybody, I don't like crime. I want this to stop. I think punishments for crime needs to be stricter. And if so, then yes, let's roll. I'm down for it. Okay? I'm with the problem to solve it if it's time to solve the problem. If we're not finna hear and try to solve no problems, we finna just lollygag around, then hey, I'm not with it. This is not where we need to be.
Fine. Why the hell have there been 130 homicides in Baltimore this year? And over 300 shootings. Is that working for you? I don't know what the hell to say. I'm not blaming anybody, meaning the politicians. But I mean, damn. When you hear about those strict gun laws, and you hear about the fact that they're prioritizing it when your mayor, who is 39 years of age, Brandon Scott, campaigns on making sure to what? reduce homicides by 15% each year in his term, getting them to below 300 homicides in his first year as mayor. Well, I think it's safe to say it ain't the greatest start in the world. I think that's fair to say.
Look how young that dude looked to be a mayor. But this is what they want. This is what you want, America. This is what America wants. Remember what they say about Democrats, and I done heard it plenty of times on my channel. If they want it, give it to them.
But before I go any further, let's highlight for a second from the news.
Nah, look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face. It's like, what have I gotten myself into? I'm not gonna lie to you. If this was, I wish there was a more of a conspiracy theory channel. And we can get into conspiracy theory if y'all would like to. I really want y'all to take a look at that face. That is not a face of a person that don't know something. That is a face of somebody that knows something. Okay? You know more than what you led on to. I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out there on social media. He know more than what he knows.
Let's highlight for a second from the news in Baltimore. What exactly has transpired? Play that first clip for me, y'all, please.
Nikki, in that surveillance video, you can see dozens of people running through the street of that Brooklyn neighborhood. At one point, there are people that are actually ducking behind cars to take cover. Now, police telling us tonight that at least 9 victims remain in the hospital. The other victims have since been treated and left. They tell us that 15 of those victims are under the age of 18 years old. Police hammering down that message that they are not going to sleep until they find the person or persons responsible for this. And I do want to warn our viewers that what you are about to see and hear may be very disturbing. An $8,000 reward now on the table to help police track down the killers of these 2 victims, 20-year-old Kylis Bogbemi and 18-year-old Aaliyah Gonzalez.
If there is anybody near an AMBO with a white sheet that's available, I'm going to need it.
Police now releasing the ages of the 28 surviving victims of Brooklyn's mass shooting. 13 are 18 years or older, 15 are 17 years or younger.
There you have it. There you have it. And of course, we're going to hear the regular stuff that we always hear. And I'm not questioning the sincerity or lack thereof of a mayor or a governor. I'm just talking about the futility of words, which is why I started off this show by airing Steve Kerr's exasperation over yet the latest shooting. Here is Mayor Brandon Scott, and this is what he had to say in regards to the shooting that took place last night in Baltimore, Maryland. Listen to this.
Someone out there knows, and we want everybody who was out there, if somebody knows who did this, I don't care if it's the parents, the brother, the wife, the girlfriend of those who are responsible, we need you to say something. We need you to treat this as if someone had taken the life of your son, your daughter, your father, your brother. We need you to do that and step up and do the right thing. And to those who carried out the act, we will find you.
We will find you. Yeah. Now y'all want people to snitch and talk and react to things that's going on, like it truly matters and like y'all truly care. Nobody's gonna react. Nobody's gonna do that. Why? Because they don't want the retaliation of their community coming back to hunt them. Who wants that? Nobody wants that to happen to them. Nobody wants an organization to come back and be like, hey, I'm coming to get you. You be like, damn. That boy said they were gonna come back and come and get you. Yeah, they're gonna come back and come and get you. My blunt keep going out on me. I'm finna just play this real quick.
You should see a referee, see somebody who's going to call it fair. They went out of their way to grab this case and use it in the way that they've used it. And now the First Amendment is being used as a shield for bigotry. The First Amendment is being used as a shield for discrimination. There were people in my father's day, in my mother's day, who said that the Bible separated the races. That after Noah, we were separated. After the Tower of Babel, we were separated. That it was ordained by God that blacks and whites should be separated. Do their religious beliefs now come back? Can somebody now say, as a matter of religious faith, I just can no longer serve the agenda of diversity? This is all nuts. But it's not just a tragedy. It's a result of a strategy. And we got to wake up and realize this is a serious political fight, not just legal one.
All right, guys, so we got to thank President Trump for a free speech win against the Biden regime, because a Trump-appointed judge just issued a ruling that has the mainstream liberal media melting down. Okay, more specifically, CNN is melting down because the Dear Biden regime cannot weaponize the government any longer to try to censor free speech or to try to compel social media websites, big tech, to censor political speech, which we know that that's what they were doing to Twitter and other social media networks based off the Twitter files, okay? The bombshell revelations from Elon Musk showing that the old Twitter regime was colluding with the government in order to censor speech that the government did not like, aka conservative speech. And a judge has just put a stop to that, okay, by ruling that the Biden administration policing of social media likely violated the First Amendment, okay? I mean, this should be common sense, okay? I mean, you can't have the government basically trying to police people's speech using big tech, okay? I mean, they're trying to get around the First Amendment, and it's like, no. You can't do that. But again, you got networks melting down over it, and we're going to react to it. But first, I want to read about this ruling here, because again, this is a win for free speech in this country, and then I'm going to go from there. A federal judge issued a broad preliminary injunction limiting the federal government from communicating with social media companies about online content, ruling that the Biden administration officials' policing of social media posts likely violated the First Amendment. In a 155-page ruling issued Tuesday, U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty of Louisiana barred White House officials and multiple federal agencies from contacting social media companies with the purpose of suppressing political views and other speech normally protected from government censorship. Yeah, so they're saying, look, the White House and other federal agencies, like, for example, the FBI, right? You cannot be contacting social media telling them to take down posts for political purposes, okay? Now, they are allowed to do that when it comes to things like national security, okay? Or, law enforcement or something like that, which, again, I guess is a loophole, because we know that the Democrats are trying to lock up their political opponents, right? So I guess they can say, well, we're censoring the Proud Boys, right, for law enforcement purposes or something like that. Okay, but this mainly has to do with COVID, okay? The censorship that was compelled by the Biden administration on big tech to censor what they deem to be COVID disinformation, aka, what ultimately turned out to be truth about COVID. Ultimately, it was being censored because the Biden administration was telling big tech to censor it. The judge's injunction came in a lawsuit by the Republican Attorney General of Louisiana and Missouri, who alleged that the Biden administration fostered a, quote, sprawling federal censorship enterprise in its effort to stamp out what it viewed as rampant disinformation circulating on social media, okay? AKA anything that went against the Democrat narrative, right? The lawsuit claimed, pressured social media companies to scrub away disfavored views about COVID-19 health policies. the origins of the pandemic, the Hunter Biden laptop story, election security, and other divisive topics. Right? Facts. Again, these things, in my opinion, all have outcomes on the election, and this is why they were doing it. A spokesman for the Justice Department declined to comment on the ruling. In a brief previously filed with the court, the department denied the plaintiff's allegations and said that the federal government took necessary and responsible actions to deal with a pandemic and foreign attempts at election interference. Again, amazing. Well, Russia, right? Russia, okay? Russia. This is why we did it, okay? It's just ridiculous. The case is among the most potentially consequential First Amendment battles pending in the courts, testing the limits on government scrutiny of social media content on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and other major platforms. Never before has a federal judge set such sweeping limits on how the federal government may communicate with online platforms, according to lawyers involved in the case. Some legal scholars have been skeptical that the government can be held responsible for content moderation decisions ultimately made by private companies, or that courts could intervene without chilling legitimate government speech about controversial matters of public interest. Okay, well, again, there's a difference between government speech, okay, in which the government says, hey, this is what we believe, right? There's a difference between that and the government going to big tech and saying, look, you have to censor whatever that does not agree with what we believe. Okay, I mean, those are two different things. So that being said, you guys get the gist of what's going on here. A judge has basically stopped the Biden administration from being authoritarians, and of course, CNN melts down over the Biden regime not being able to be authoritarian, which is what the mainstream liberal media has been melting down over all week when it comes to the Supreme Court rulings that, again, are stopping Biden from being authoritarian. Take a look.
Yes, this is a Trump-appointed judge, but this judge was confirmed 98-0 by the Senate. Just reading the words in this injunction, a, quote, massive effort by the defendants to suppress speech based on content, those are the judge's words, calling the present case, quote, arguably involves the most massive attack against free speech in the United States history, Ellie.
Yeah. It's a dramatic decision by this judge. If you read through it, he's citing to literature and George Washington and Ben Franklin. Here's what really is astonishing to me. This is a conservative ideology that clearly comes through in this decision. It's a conservative political ideology, right? We saw some of the quotes questioning vaccines, questioning masks, conservative talking points. But the ruling itself is the opposite of judicial conservatism. This is one of the most aggressive, far-reaching rulings you'll ever see. What this judge is purporting to do is to micromanage, really, the day-to-day interactions between essentially the entire executive branch, all these agencies that are listed as defendants, and the leading social media companies. And in the actual temporary injunction, the judge basically says, you're not allowed, administration, to talk to these social media companies about any protected free speech except for cybersecurity threats, national security threats, criminal threats. But where's the line? Who's going to police this? This is a judge trying to micromanage the day-to-day regular activities of the entire executive branch. I don't know that it's actually policeable by the judge, but it's really an astonishing. I don't mean this necessarily as a criticism. This is a very activist judicial opinion.
Yeah, so you know what's funny to me, guys? It's always so funny how the left goes out of their way to get so upset when Democrats are not allowed to be authoritarian. When the courts are literally doing their constitutional duty of checking the executive branch, when they try to take too much power, they want to get mad and upset. But we know if the roles were reversed here, right? If the roles were reversed, imagine if Trump tried to weaponize social media to, let's say, for example, censor a story that could have an effect on the outcome of the election involving his son in strange business dealings overseas. Okay, do you think that the mainstream liberal media will be reacting this way, right? If a liberal judge came out and said Trump can't do that, right? Like, that's a violation of the First Amendment. Okay, do you think that CNN would believe that it's okay for the government to try to compel big tech to censor speech if Trump was in office? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Again, it's just so hilarious to me. These people show them.
They be showing off of themselves, boy. I hope y'all do got some weed blunts and stuff like that. Appreciate everybody stopping through, coming by, stuff like that. I'm just putting that out there real quick. Don't be looking around like, oh man, sound like he finna close up shop. I'm just saying thank you. I've been asking a lot of people just to hit that like button for me, hit that thumbs up for me. You know, I really be appreciating it. You know, some of y'all don't be doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, some of y'all don't be doing it. I be, you know. Okay.
Alrighty, there are new calls to boycott Ben & Jerry's. I'm sure you're familiar with those. After the ice cream makers demanded the United States give back Mount Rushmore as part of its Independence Day message. That's great. That's a real kind of, stick in the eye. The company tweeted, "This 4th of July, it's high time that we recognize the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it." Some observers calling out the ice cream makers' hypocrisy on this issue.
Tatum a day. I'm gonna do to the land and crack. Are you smoking? To think that we need to give land back to people who we conquered. I like what kind of stupid? That's the stupidest thing ever. Everybody's on stolen land.
Elizabeth Pran likes Bud Light. She likes Ben & Jerry's too, and joins us now with her verdict on the situation. I don't know. We've yet to see anybody with their AR-15s blowing away Cherry Garcia ice cream.
And this is sort of where I'm curious, Leland, because the saying that no publicity is bad publicity has really been turned on its head. If we learned anything from Bud Light, it's that bad publicity is actually bad publicity. And like you said, Ben & Jerry's loves to weigh in on all of these things. They love to weigh in on Israel and Palestine. They love to have anti-Trump ice cream and pro-Bernie ice cream. And they love to have an opinion on Ukraine. But on this issue, we're talking about, I think it's, a 35-acre piece of land that they feel needs to be returned to the indigenous people there, which, by the way, in 1980, the Supreme Court said that the government owes them $100 million. The people refused to accept that $100 million. My question to you is, Ben & Jerry's is facing a class action lawsuit for allegedly exploiting migrant children. So on the 4th of July, why are they focusing on this agenda and not the fact that they're facing this class action lawsuit? I really think that at this point, they're really starting to just waste our time. We've talked about Bud Light. Bud Light is still not rebounding.
I just don't understand. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. None of the land belongs to anybody. At what point do you say, unless God told you that this is your land and they're giving it to you, like he did Israel, his chosen people, that's a land that occupies, and the blessing is in the land, and the people are supposed to have and occupy that land. That's a different story. There ain't no prophecy that indigenous people would occupy the Americas. Bruh, how do you think some of the indigenous people got the land they got? Because they scalped other people to take over the land. People are so stupid to me. I can't stand, I wish that all these people would just disappear. They just live in a perpetual state of stupidity and beta male energy. Ben & Jerry's made a statement. We should give the land back to indigenous people. I don't know if they stupid or they evil or both. They act like everybody was living in harmony in the world except white people. Do you know the amount of bloodshed that has occurred throughout the history of humanity? Do you understand the empires of the Aztecs didn't start because they were all like, you know what? We want to occupy all this land. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with it. You know what? We're all family. I'm going to hunt on this side and you hunt on this side. And if you get this many buffalo, we can share the buffalo. No, they like, we're going to kill everybody over here and then we're going to take over everything. Our empire is going to be the massive of the massive. And everybody else that we occupy or took their land, they're going to be slaves. The Indians own black slaves, but we need to return to the indigenous people. What about the indigenous people owning slaves, though? Ben & Jerry's, you going to talk about that? Oh, no, you don't want to talk about that because y'all especially white people. White people that betray the foundation of this country is I think they even worse than black people who betray this country. Because it's a lot of y'all that died to make this country great. A lot of your ancestors. You know, the Irish people here were enslaved and treated like crap in America alongside black people. And then they have this virtue signal where they walk around. Oh,
I ain't want him to get so deep all in it. He think he would have took over. Shit, man. Y'all don't understand what's going on and see that like a war once took place. Some people conquered it. Bad people got put in their place. People got set free. We are free, and we have the capability to do some wonderful things in life. Very, very wonderful things in life. That's how you need to start looking at it. We're able to do some wonderful things in life. If you don't see that we're able to do some wonderful things in life and able to sit here and chill and appreciate things, and then understand that bad things around you are gonna happen. Sorry, I don't like that does happen like that, but understanding bad things are gonna happen. But man, we gotta sit here and chill, love and create and appreciate and build and grow. Teach the little ones to get bigger. Ladies and gentlemen, I ain't finna hold nobody, man. I was up in here. I started off a little early. You know what I'm saying? Something to close a little early, man. We've been doing our thing. I appreciate people coming up in here. Please share this video out if you liked it. Everybody else that come along, man, I appreciate, man. Smoke you one, learn you something, build something, grow something. Y'all please have a good night. I appreciate it all. Peace.